Hey guys, welcome to the fourth and final episode of the History of the World Cup series. So today I'll be talking about the 2011 and 2015 World Cups. So let's start with the 2011 World Cup, which many Indians considered it the best World Cup, mainly because India won it obviously. So it was hosted in India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Initially, even Pakistan was selected as the hosts, but following the 2009 Sri Lankan bus attack, they were cancelled as the hosts. So there were 14 teams with two groups of 7 and the top 4 qualifying for the quarterfinals. The 10 test nations participated along with Netherlands, Canada, Kenya and Ireland. For the first time, the DRS review system was used. In Group A, it went as expected with no major surprises as Pakistan topped the group as they beat Australia's 34 games, 12 years unbeaten record in the World Cups. And also another record was broken in Group A as Nitish Kumar, the Canadian batsman, became the youngest player to feature in a World Cup game at just 16 years 238 days against Zimbabwe. In Sri Lanka vs Kenya, Lasith Malinga became the first bowler to take 2 hat-tricks in World Cup. Group B on the other hand was way more interesting, with England especially playing many interesting matches, which included their match against India, one of the most legendary matches in World Cup, where both teams scored 338 as England, who needed 2 runs of the last ball, could only manage a single. And then there was also the match against Ireland which England played, where Ireland were 111 for 5, chasing England's 328. However, the fastest century in World Cup history of 50 balls by Neil O'Brien ensured that Ireland could complete the highest successful chase in World Cup history. And then there was also the match against South Africa, which England actually won despite getting all out for 171 runs, as they somehow managed to bowl out South Africa for just 165, which was another close match. And also England lost to Bangladesh as Bangladesh chased down England's 225 pretty comfortably. In another match, Bangladesh versus West Indies, Bangladesh got all out for 58 as West Indies easily won. And after the match, obviously, naturally, the unhappy Bangladesh supporters threw rocks at the West Indies team bus, thinking it was the Bangladeshi team bus. Again, it was the usual suspects who got in through to the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, Pakistan beat West Indies. They actually didn't beat, they thrashed West Indies as West Indies got all out for 113. And also in South Africa again choked against New Zealand, chasing just 200, unable to chase just 222. India beat Australia on the back of a match-winning performance by Yuvraj Singh, meaning Australia couldn't lift a 4th consecutive World Cup title. And also Sri Lanka chased 230 runs against England without losing a single wicket. In the semi-finals, Sri Lanka comfortably beat New Zealand. And in the second semi, India vs Pakistan, the most hyped match of the tournament, played in Mohali, was watched by over 1 billion people on TV. And this match again was easily won by India due to some terrible Pakistani fielding and also a really good innings of 85 by Sachin Tendulkar. In the finals, it was India vs Sri Lanka. For the first time, it was 2 Asian teams playing the finals of a Cricket World Cup. And the crowd was so excited, the atmosphere was so intense that during the toss had to be retaken because the match referee couldn't hear the call the first time the toss was taken. In the end, it was Sri Lanka who batted first and they made 274 on the back of a really good century by Mahela Jayawardene. And India got off a terrible start in their chase as both the openers were gone for 31 runs, but Gambhir stabilized the innings with his 97 runs. However, the man of the match has to be Dhoni, who made 91 of just 79 balls. He also hit a six. He also hit a six to finish off the match to send the Wankhede Stadium and India into ecstasy. The top run scorer was Dilshan with 500 runs, as the top wicket takers were Afridi and Zahir Khan with 21 wickets apiece. The average first innings score was 246, and Bangladesh, despite being hosts, had a pretty mediocre tournament as they conceded the most runs with 370 versus India and made the lowest total of just 58 against West Indies. And the man of the tournament was Yuvraj Singh for his great performances with both bat and ball. The 2015 World Cup used the same format as the 2011 World Cup and was held in Australia and New Zealand. The associate nations were Afghanistan, who made their debut, Ireland, UAE and Scotland. In the first game of the tournament, Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, Nuwan Kulasekara became the first bowler who actually bowled the last ball of the 2011 World Cup. Became the first bowler to bowl the last ball and the first ball of a World Cup. McCallum made some headlines in the World Cup due to his opening the innings with some swagger, as he literally tried to hit every ball he faced for a boundary. He also made the fastest half century in World Cup history, as he made 50 of just 18 balls against England. Also, a hat-trick was taken by Stephen Finn against Australia in a losing cause, however. And Australia made 417 runs, the highest World Cup total, against Afghanistan, whom they beat by 257 runs. Again, the highest margin of victory. But Afghanistan did manage to get their first World Cup win against Scotland. So one of the interesting match of the tournament was Australia versus New Zealand. Australia got all out for 151 and New Zealand lost 9 wickets for 146, as they needed 6 runs of the last 27 overs. However, Kane Williamson finished it off in style as he hit a 6 to win the match for New Zealand. The shock of the tournament was England getting knocked out by Bangladesh, as they lost to Bangladesh by 15 runs. Bangladesh almost beat New Zealand too. However, a late cameo by Tim Southee meant that New Zealand could chase down Bangladesh's 289 target. In Group B, India were impeccable. In the first match against Pakistan, India won on the back, thanks largely due to a Virat Kohli century, which was viewed by more than 1 billion people worldwide. India also beat South Africa for the first time in World Cups by 130 runs, which was quite a shock. And Gale became the first batsman to score a double century in World Cups against Zimbabwe in Group B. And also AB de Villiers hit the fastest 150 in ODI history, as he made it of just 64 balls. And Ireland caused a shock of the group as they chased down West Indies' 305, again showing that they can chase down big targets. And there was almost another story of David versus Goliath, as Zimbabwe almost beat India, posting 289, and with India struggling, having lost 5 wickets already. But however, a good partnership between Raina and Dhoni took India past the finish line. In the knockouts, in the first quarter final, West Indies versus New Zealand, New Zealand easily won as Martin Guptill made 237 runs, which was the highest score in ODIs at that time. And South Africa finally won a knockout game against Sri Lanka, which was also the final international game for Mahela Jayawardene and Kumar Sangakkara. And in India versus Bangladesh, India won as they got their opponents bowled out for the 7th consecutive time. And Australia also beat Pakistan comfortably. And then came the semis, the semi between New Zealand and South Africa, which is one of the most legendary matches. In a rain hit match, New Zealand needed to make 298 in 43 overs. And well, they did manage to make it in the end thanks to an 84 runs innings by Grant Elliott, and also quite terrible fielding, uncharacteristic terrible fielding by South Africa, who I guess succumbed to the pressure. And in the end, it was 5 runs needed of the last two balls, and Grant Elliott hit a six to end all of South Africa's dreams and leave them in agony and leave Morny Morkel drooling. In the second semi-final, India lost to Australia as Australia were head and shoulders ahead of India, and it showed. In the finals, it was Australia versus New Zealand, and New Zealand in the MCG, which saw a record attendance of 93,000, and in the final, however, the match didn't live up to the expectation as New Zealand got all out for 183, and Australia comfortably chased it down with Michael Clarke top scoring in his final ODI game as Australia won their fifth World Cup title. Bolt took the best bowling figures of 7 for 33 against England. And however, the man of the tournament was World Cup winner and a vital cog in the Australian team, Mitchell Starc. That's the end of the series. I hope I've covered all the major points and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.